Joining us is this young gang, Mohit, Shraddha, Siddharth. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, Mohit, to you first. I've known you for quite some time.
Yeah.
Tell me, what's more fun, shooting a film or all this phase of doing
100% shooting a film. This is the point. You know this.
Any day, shooting a film. Let's shoot. Let's go. Let's get up here. Give us a scene. Give us dialogue, Mohit. Come on.
Yeah, this is the scariest moment for a filmmaker. This is the moment where you're like, why do I make films? why? Or you take it even now. Why am I born? You're like, this is where you're out. You've lost perception of the film. Yeah. You see people who are liking the film, but then they look at you and say, "Oh wow, this is really good," and you're like, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah.
And you're anxious, you're nervous, sleep deprived, for sure. Sometimes high, sometimes low. So you have these. This is the worst part of films, and I guess in that you have to pretend like, wow, we know it all, when we don't know it all at all.
Like you're on a countdown. So every day, like you're getting closer and closer to the release date. So,
but you guys are more used to this process of interviews and publicity?
Used to the process, but if you say which one do you like better, I would choose set any day than being here.
Shraddha?
On set, any day.
Yeah, for any actor.
So we know how we make you all feel now.
Who's the actual villain?
No, but I also feel that we've all gotten out of our comfort zones and we've made this film.
Right.
And at this stage, especially for us, we're doing something new for him after Student of the Year, with her after Ashiki. Yeah. I mean, we've worked together. Then even Ekta, for a matter of fact, is a very different film for her. Yeah. And the thing is, we were this bunch of young people making a film,
right?
And suddenly we are the awaited film of the year, and we're like, when did we become this?
Teaser and trailer. I think suddenly the tables have turned,
right?
And we feel pressure for Friday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even box office wise.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll all live up to it.
Good. There's pressure. Yeah. So you guys have given a blockbuster together.
Yeah.
Mohit, casting her for the second time in a completely different role, what made you feel that she would pull this off?
In fact, she's more this person than what she is in real life as. Like, I always feel like in Ashiki, right? I remember there was a day when we shot one of the most emotional scenes in the film, and I knew somewhere down the line she had a bad day. Like, there was a part of a film that she was auditioning for which she had not got. And then she comes and does the most brilliant scene that day. And I kind of knew that this happened, but I didn't really question her. But what she does is she tries to she brings out the positives in every aspect in life.
Right.
Like even during Ashiki, she used to be the only one talking a language that we and everyone in the unit didn't understand. Ashiki is a really big film and stuff like that. And we're like, where's this big? We're like changing in public loose that we're shooting this film. But she knows how to see the positive in things. That's why I think it was easier to cast her for this role as Aisha than. That was a more difficult casting.
Okay.
To be honest.
From what he said, what made you feel Ashiki is a big film?
First of all, thanks. I thought all these things.
I think a lot actually.
About me. I knew a little bit of this. I didn't know that he thought so much about me. So thanks. Sorry, he was saying that.
So he said you were the one who actually saw and were talking this language of that. It's a big film while they were obviously in the stress of shooting it.
Not a big film or anything. I just felt that it's going to do well because it's a really beautiful story. I felt it was a really beautiful story, a very heart-touching story, and of course, being helmed by Mohit, somebody who is the ace of this sort of genre. That sort of heartfelt pain and emotion in a love story. I'm not predicting.
Right.
Exactly. So since you have this, please tell us.
This sense and all.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no sense.
You found instinct, spiritual side.
Yeah, she knew about Ashiki being a big film even before she'd heard the narration. She called me, she called me.
Basically, all of them are big.
But then you told me briefly about the film. He told me very briefly about the film. And I said, this film, it's an epic story.
Right.
The story is epic, is what I said.
Ashiki, even before the script session you knew, now that you've shot
exactly, bataiye, please.
What he's asking is,
we're so
what's
close
your gut about this?
Okay, now this is too much pressure suddenly. What is this? But I did Ek Villain without even really knowing the story, to tell you the truth. It's because I've been wanting to work with him again, and I was hoping that he'd pick me again after Ashiki when I overheard he's making villains. So I was like, if you're thinking of a girl. And then when he called me, I mean, I thought that was the biggest prize. Immediately after Ashiki 2, Mohit is offering me another film again.
Right.
So for him, it's like I knew that he would give me something that would be more than worthwhile. That would again be a memorable role, because he wouldn't give me something anything like that, anything less than that.
Right.
And so once I heard the story, it was exactly that. And the story, of course, he picks stories which are memorable.
That's a really cool trick you can do, you just turn around and tell the director, you love me, right?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, and he said, then fine, why are you making me hear the script? That just takes the responsibility to a whole other level.
It's on you now.
Now it's all you now, what do you do now? I say he cast me, I didn't cast him.
Okay. Siddharth, I was asking you, Mohit came and he was taking you out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
Mohit, girls have seen him like that, they have loved him like that, a clean look, a nice, good boy. Did you actually think of, before taking this up, that, maybe it's too early in your career?
No, I don't feel early or later. I think there's no guarantee that if I would have done other films, that they would have worked. So for me, it was the content and him. I think if this would have, I would have been approached by some other first-time filmmaker. Okay, aisi script hai. It would have been different. I would have not have so much confidence in them and me. So I was nervous for myself, but not for him. I think because he comes from this space. He was the only comforting factor in the guy who had full confidence in his content, and I think we had so much to take from him than to give. When I heard the script also, I kept thinking about it. While I was shooting Hasi To Basi, I was nervous about this film actually, because this was very alien to me, very new and unique in terms of what I've done before.
Right.
So I think not at all. I think Mohit Suri was the only factor for this film.
And why do you think girls don't like him anymore? Don't you think they like him a lot more now?
After the release, they will decide.
But don't they like him a lot more, isn't it?
Okay.
Exactly.
Isn't the bad boy a lot more fun?
Girls like bad boys.
Girls like bad boys.
They're finding it more exciting and
Loving
unpredictable.
his car and his dirty look and
Exactly. So I think hats off to him
He's
to
Making
have
it sound
that.
really hot, so I'm sure they like it. Okay, so I've interviewed you thrice. Once you were sitting right next to Alia, then right next to Parinidhi, now next to Shraddha. The comfort zone, just because more or less you're all the same age group, is it much easier?
Of course, I think we're all in a similar phase. We're all in similar age group, which makes the set more amicable, more friendly.
Right.
Which makes the working environment more easy-going, because there's no such thing here. Aisa kyun hai? There's no seniority or formalities. I think all of us break the ice much sooner.
Right.
We all have similar lifestyles and similar upbringings and cultures, a similar generation. So I think it's very important to do films with people that you have similar, like-minded people.
So you both think maybe when you work with some other actors who are more experienced, it will be slightly different?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there must be something different, because with work comes, a different side to some people are far more relaxed when they work a lot. Some people have their own ways of working and they might not want to change it according to somebody else.
Right.
But yeah, so far we have not, but all of us have gotten really friendly and close.
Nice. Okay, I'll take some advantage of knowing you. Is your film straight inspired by the Korean film I Saw the Devil?
Why is that taking advantage of you doing?
Because people are Guma Firake asking, is it I saw the promo,
Even strangers are asking that, that's okay.
I'm just asking you anything. Is it inspired by this film?
As I would say, I've got nothing original about me. I'm not saying that. I didn't even plan to become a director in the first place, and I've reached here so far. So everything I've done in my life, I have films that I've seen, books that I've read, or some inspiration from life or whatever. Like, for example, I keep giving the example of Ashiki, where you have, you had a scene where she talks to Mahesh Thakur's character saying, "Girti parti rahungi uski zindagi mein."
Right.
It's similar to Sahib, Bibi and Gulam.
Right.
Then you have this shot where Aditya goes down and on the steps, and she's on top of the steps and she's being loaded by the press. Is like the artist shot. We used to call it the artist shot.
Okay.
But everything I will do is from what I've learned. I was never born with stories in my head.
Right.
Have I seen I Saw the Devil? Yes, I have seen the film. Is it similar in the sense in any characterization? No. There is no Shraddha Kapoor's character at all in it. Forget about the life that they're living or the love story that they have. Essentially is Ritesh Deshmukh playing a sexually dysfunctional person. No, he's not playing that. He's in fact playing, quite contrary to that, a very family loving, simple man who doesn't do
I
bad
think the
things.
track of two boys, that's where a lot of
I guess the
similarities
track of two boys pitched against each other, and if a dialogue is taken from here and there, I'm here to protect my writers, to stand in front of them. I can't go back and hold their collar saying, why did you take this one line, which is a translation.
Hats off to him, at least he's admitting to the fact that
I
he
think
gets
there's
inspired.
I think there's a
Shraddha.
Shehenshaw scene in this film. I mean, I'm inspired from that. This is an ode to.
But it's a take, right? All of us would do, everybody, it's like mimickry. If you do a mimicry of somebody, it's a take of your take of what that person should be like.
It's a classic take on vengeance films, I guess.
Yeah.
This is what Ek Villain would exactly be. And it's not something that's just driven out of an action-driven thing. It's a romantic-driven film.
Okay.
So that's the closest I can be inspired to.
Okay, that's
So basically,
very
not one film, we have a bunch of other films that you inspired and copy from. So you should take more names.
Okay, that's very well put. So tell me, in Ek Villain, are there any, both the guys are in a negative character?
Yeah.
Tell me, Shraddha, who's more dangerous?
Who is more dangerous?
Yeah, who's more negative?
Who is more villainy?
Evil, yeah.
Well, let's just say that both of them are very villainy in this film, and it's my character who is the rainbow in between these two grey clouds.
Right.
I would say so. Both of them are exploring their dark sides, and both of them. It's a very different role for both of them to play.
Okay.
You know, I think those days are gone. Like one is who's more dangerous and Kaun Kam Hai. We're not playing.
Okay, you tell me about your character. You tell me about Ritesh's character. Yeah.
Acha. So I'm playing this boy called Guru, and he's from Goa, and he's this, and he's slightly quiet and more violent because he's witnessed a murder when he was really young.
Right.
So he's got a traumatizing past. There's a full reason for why he is like that today. He's not so optimistic or not so. He doesn't think that the world is such a happy place, and he's more of a loner, and he works for this politician. And it's how he encounters, I think one very important message for this character and for what I feel the script stands for is that darkness cannot bring out darkness, only love can, only light can.
Okay.
And which she says in the trailer as well, ki nafrat ko nafrat nahi, sirf pyar mita. I think for my character's point of view and from the whole film, I think that's the one message that the writers and Mohit want you to experience and see how it pans out.
Right.
So I think it's not only just an engine film, it's got an interesting and a very philosophical message about it.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll come to your character. First, you tell me about Ritesh's character.
See, essentially, they both play predators in one jungle, and you don't know who's more dangerous than the other person. Okay. It's like would you fear the lion in the jungle, or would you fear the bear? You don't know who's playing what. But essentially, he presumably forms the garb or the costume of being a family man who has a certain value system. He's someone who sees the heroes that are larger than life, and your wife and kids doting on them while they're the ones providing you the money. So he's got a very different take on things, but he lives in the underbelly of your city. That makes him more dangerous. You can't find him. While you have a trained aggressive killer, and he's someone who embraces pain. He'll tattoo himself. He's a pain junkie more than anything else. So how do you beat someone like that? How do you beat someone who has a death wish, who wants to die? So you can't beat him anyways. So you have two different kind of jungles, animals in this jungle who are pitched against each other. So that's why this summer, no heroes, only villains.
Okay, so these are the two villains in Ek Villain. Tell us, where do you come in?
She's a comedian.
So Aisha, who's my character, she's the brightest aspect of Ek Villain, and she is when she comes on screen, all the greyness fades away and it's all light. She talks a lot. She's very exuberant. She loves helping people, and she loves to spread that positivity and loves to see a smile on someone's face. And she has this very interesting thing where she keeps saying ek joke bolu. So she loves to crack jokes, and even if nobody else is laughing at her jokes, she'll make sure that she's the one who is having the last laugh at her jokes. So she believes she's very humorous and funny. So while she's speaking so much and she's so exuberant and full of life all the time, she meets somebody who's exactly the opposite of her, who imbibes darker traits, who doesn't speak very much, and how they meet and how she's meant to help him for whatever reason, and whether she's successful in that or no.
Okay, interesting. So, now this was about Ek Villain. We guess that since you all have shot one film together, you all know each other very well. We are living in very good times. There was a time earlier when the 100 crore block belonged to just a few actors and just a few directors. Now all you guys deliver 100 crores. Tell me, how do you see this? Does this add more pressure, Mohit, on someone like you who's delivered that next time that will be expected from you?
Well, I think first and foremost, we live in a time where there is a 100 crore kind of figure. There was never this figure called 100 crore.
Earlier, correct.
So while you're saying that there's a 100 crore figure that has come today, which is and you think a
No, I'm just
relatively new cast.
talking about recent past when Salman.
I think there's always been this. I mean, there's this whole thing about. But you had films that ran golden jubilees, silver jubilees. The longevity of the film was different.
Yeah, the weeks they used to count the number of weeks.
The weeks were more important. The days were more important.
No, everyone is aware of these ratios, but still, everyone wants to be in that club.
They're obsessed by that
I
three-digit
guess
figure.
the three-digit figure is a three-digit figure.
Which is not fair, but as he said, if you see the ratio of investment to profit.
I'm not trying to be a person who is into a temple of cinema or something like that. I'm actually saying this. It adds better business for me to be a longer living
lasting. Correct.
But I feel like, as you said, that we are. People are expecting us to be able to pull that sort of crowd into theatres now, to be able to give a 100 crore film. I mean, 2 states just did that, So I think it's really, in a way, it's really good because the audience is accepting and we're getting those amount of people to go and actually watch our films, relatively newer faces as opposed to those established stars. So I think it's great that the audience is really
it's great that movies are working.
Rushing into the theatres,
Cool, so brace yourself, some questions coming up.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
To both of you, how many films has Mohit done with the butts? Give us one number.
8.
8 or 9? 9.
8.
8.
This is the 9th one.
Nice.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
Okay. How many films has Mohit done with Imran Hashmi?
4?
5.
4.
4?
Only 2 is
I think 6.
There's a trick in that. There's a trick in that.
There will be one number. There will be one number.
There's a trick there.
What?
He's done 6. Only 2 he's not done with them.
6 is correct.
6.
6 is correct.
There's a trick in that. Because Kalyug is the trick.
He's
a special appearance in that. That's the trick.
But still, he's there in the movie. Okay.
Bola mein Ashiki with the only 2.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, to the two of you, what was his character's name in Student of the Year?
I don't know. Kukkad.
Kukkad Kamal. Yeah.
No,
Abhimanyu Singh.
Yeah.
Okay. Which was Shraddha's debut film?
Deepati.
Easy one.
Okay, easy one, yeah. Shraddha to you, Siddharth to you, Shraddha's name in Ashiki 2. You both obviously know it.
Arohi.
Easy one.
Okay,
again.
that's also an easy one.
People know, like when we go out, people shout
really?
Arohi.
Shout more Arohi.
Nobody knows my real name. They call me Arohi. If you Google Arohi Kapoor, my face will come.
Arohi Kapoor?
Yes.
Nice.
It's amazing. It's the best compliment.
Right, okay. Does Shraddha have more people in her family who are actors, or it's just her father who's an actor?
Yeah, she has many more.
Like?
Her Masi.
Like who?
Tejaswari Kolhapuri, right?
And yeah.
Tejaswari Kolhapuri is your Masi, no? Yeah, Masi.
Okay.
Then there is your mom acted. One film. Your mom also acted. Yeah. Then Siddharth,
Right.
brother. Don't cheat it also. I know that.
I said brother in the beginning.
Correct. We got 4, right?
Okay, fair enough.
5 people.
5 people. Okay. Guys, not bad at all. If I had a hamper, I would definitely give it to you all. Yeah. Okay, we'll end. I don't have one.
Competitive at all.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
You don't have more questions.
We'll take your questions. Come. Okay. Give us the phone back. Come on.
Okay, guys, before we go, Shraddha, we saw you really performing very well at the music launch. That was right. So for our viewers also, for a few lines, can we have?
Yeah, of course. Ever ready to sing this new discovery that because of Mohit, I've gotten my own song to sing, Galiya Unplugged version. So here goes. Just a couple.
Guys can support you by clapping.
Clapping.
After that.
I think we're pretty unmusical that way.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, we can't be there.
Okay, Shraddha. Yeah.
We said dancing. Okay.
That's okay. You can do that. He does that well.
Yeah.
Start, yeah.
तेरी गलियां गलियां तेरी गलियां मुझको भावे गलियां तेरी गलियां.
That deserves an applause. Thank you so much and best of luck for Equivalent Audio.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.